there, and welcome to Actual Hell. My name is Trevor, and this is Luke. And you may have noticed we both had haircuts for those watching, those listening. Disregard the last 2 seconds. And we're here to talk about the shambles of world cricket because it's.
Should we just make it a cricket podcast and
we just,
talk football all together?
I mean, we should talk about something else. We can't just talk about St. Regensburg because I've managed to put it out the back of my mind. It's out the way. We're not playing for 2 weeks. Let's forget it ever happened and just clean the page, right? But no, I guess we should spend some time talking about it at least, and then talk about the weather or something.
Yeah, buckle up, whoever's listening, for half an hour of
misery and loathing and
complaining. Yeah, just moaning like fuck for half an hour. And yeah, that's basically it, because there's not a whole lot of positives to be taken out of that, is there?
Going into it, was feeling optimistic, but I was speaking to the guy I was doing the commentary St. TV, and I was speaking to the guy from the media team, and we're joking. We said, "Oh yeah, like not scored in 6 goals. Wouldn't it be funny?" So maybe we jinxed it. Maybe it's our fault. Wouldn't it be funny if we're the team that they fucking score against first? And lo and behold, was it 17 minutes? Not even, no, 7 minutes. Sorry, 7 minutes for the first goal.
Oh yeah, it didn't take long at all before we handed them their first goal. Charity FC, once again. Any team that hasn't won in forever, hasn't scored in forever, just fucking play St. Pauli. We'll help you out. Don't worry.
But what kind of a challenge was that in that part of the pitch? He was going nowhere. There were 2 defenders, and Faslihi, fair enough, he's standing in for Smith, who was sick, and then just
So he was the only change to the starting 11, right?
He was the only change, yes. So it's the state. Fasili was the only change in for Smith. Everyone else, Basil, Saliakas, Medic, Nemeth, Pakarada, Jackson Irvine, obviously. Can't go wrong with that. Hartl, then it was Eggestein and Yaman Amanido up top. So chosen ahead of the string of strikers that we have on the books that have a goal between them right now. So yeah, it was he was the only change, and that's a forced change as well. I think it's relatively last minute too.
It's an important player to be missing, but I don't think he's the reason why him being missing wasn't the reason why we lost that match.
No, it's just that I'm pinpointing the stupidity of making that challenge in that part of the pitch at that time. that's the problem.
Do you think it was a penalty though?
Yeah,
it had to go to the VAR.
Yeah, it's because the referee didn't see it, and then the VAR referee saw it and said, "Dude, you missed something." So then he has to go check.
I thought it was soft as shit, man. I don't think
it was soft. It was soft, but you just need to usher him out the pitch. Why do you need to be making contact at all?
I don't even think he realized he made contact, because it was like his trailing foot. He didn't even know where the Regensburg player was.
Yeah.
I know there was contact, but contact doesn't always mean a penalty. Like, I don't even think the Regensburg player thought it was a penalty.
Yeah, he's probably couldn't believe his luck. He's like, what? Penalty?
Yeah.
Happy days. Well, because just before that, Pakarad had the free kick and rattled the post, and then it ricocheted off Eggestein and cleared off the line by Christian Witt, who then goes and wins a penalty.
Oh. Yeah, and that was what?
Sums it up.
Early doors, wasn't it? 5th or 6th minute or something like that, and then
I think they won it in the 5th, then had to do VAR and took the penalty and scored it within the 7th minute. So yeah, it's although Vasil nearly got the penalty, like he went the right way and
he did. Yeah, it was a well placed penalty to get it past him because he dived the right way. But yeah, what a terrible start to that match. Away from home, 1-0 down early. I knew, this is going to be one of those days, isn't it?
I felt so sorry for the fans that travelled down, right? Because it's 600 down, 600 up the road, and it's a long way to go to lose.
Long way to go to watch your team play against a shit, uninteresting team with like fuck all fans in the stadium, poor atmosphere, and then at the very least you want to get a result. And then they come away with nothing. So
it's cold as well. It's 7 degrees centigrade, so it's like 41, 42 Fahrenheit. So fucking cold. and those fans have
Just
gone down.
to
I just hope they had good beer. That's what I can. They're in Bavaria, so must have had good beer. And sausages and beer. Job done.
I'm sure they did. Just to compound on the misery. So 2-0 loss away from home.
Yep.
One of our captains got injured, Pacarada. The other captain, Jackson Irvine, is now suspended for the next match.
Who's the third choice captain?
Who knows?
Can you imagine Medic as the third choice captain? I'd be terrified.
Could be, you know.
Maybe
could be Medic. Could be Eric Smith.
I reckon it'd be Medic. But I'd be terrified because he rants and goes mental as it is. Like, he had his little cameo up front. Like, I think it was who's it that came on? Svigala came on, and he came on for a Dashner. I was like, oh right, that's a defensive substitution, 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go. Interesting. And then I saw Madic going up front.
Mate, that was horrific. That was so embarrassing.
I texted you at the time and you didn't believe me, but yeah.
I thought you were joking, honestly, because I was watching the match on the way back from Amsterdam in the back of a car, just watching it on a shitty stream on my phone. And I was like, did I miss something? Did Medic go up front? What the fuck is going on here? I haven't seen anything like that since Mourinho used to put Robert Huth up front whenever he was losing 1-0. They just fucking lump it up that chant. But that is shocking. Right, I know that Otto was out. I think he was also sick.
Oh, was Otto out as well, right?
So maybe, but I don't know if that was a serious tactical decision, or maybe it was Schultz sort of looking across the poor man who got booked incidentally, being like, here, you know that striker that you said we didn't need? Well, maybe we should have brought one in because our fucking centre back's going up top for the last 12 minutes whenever we're chasing a game.
Maybe that's a statement as well, right? Like, hey, this is what I'm having to do. But yeah, I don't know. It's ineffective anyway at the end of the day, because didn't do much.
And what does that say about our current attacking options that he would trust? He would rather have Medic up there taking up space than Matanovic, Amniedo, Egerstein, the rest of them. Each of them did pretty much fuck all. Amniedo, at least he ran his balls off, defended from the front. But
Amniedo, he looked like he's going to score. It's at the back, although that's a reactive kind of thing because it's at the back post and it came through the goalkeeper, came through defenders, came through everybody. It's a very instinctive reaction, like some ninja, and didn't guide it towards goal, but it was an open goal at the end of the day, but through a crowd of players, so I can't really blame him. But a striker on form and top of his game would have got that.
Yeah, I think so. It was a tough chance, to be fair to him.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It's a very, very tough one to take. It's a huge kick in the nuts and a realization. Like maybe it's a wake up call as well because the highs of last season and then coming into this season realizing, all right, we've lost players. I know we've said this before, but then to be a quarter of the way through the season now, and what is it? 10 points we've got. 10 points from 9 games, and 2 losses and 3 draws in the last 5. So it's a little bit scary, to say the least.
I think this was sort of just hit home where we're going to be for the rest of the season. This is it. Like, mediocrity will be the best we can achieve by the looks of things. And
are we already looking to the winter transfer window?
Fucking right I am, yeah. You mad? Like, whether or not anything actually gets done is a different story. I don't really have faith.
Are there any more Australian players? Any other Australian players we can pull in? Jacko got any mates?
Yeah, well, he's on international duty right now. You better start tapping up a few players.
He must be able to. Some Aussies out there that want to move to the joys of Hamburg.
Tom Rogic was without a club for a while there, ex-Celtic midfielder. He's absolutely quality. And he just signed for West Brom. He's way too good for West Brom. Should have came to Hamburg.
Yeah. I think
would have cost an arm and a leg in terms of wages, but sure.
Yeah.
Worth it.
I'm gonna go on Football Manager and try and scout some Australian players and see if we can put a shortlist together.
What did you think of Metcalf whenever he came on?
He was good. He was good. He had a strike towards the end. It's quite almost similar to his goal a couple of weeks ago, where it ricocheted to him in space, set himself, and then struck the ball. So, but we didn't really have much of that throughout the game at all. So, yes, it's straight down the keeper's chest and stuff. But
3 shots on target the entire match. 70% possession, 3 shots on target. That says fucking everything you need to know. At least Connor has a bit of impetus whenever he comes on. You know, he will have a shot at goal.
Yeah.
Which is something that we miss. So I wouldn't mind him getting given more chances because Dashner is just
I don't know
not up
what's
to it.
happened to Dashner. Like, he seemed really good at the beginning of the season, and he's just faded away a wee bit. Maybe it's just because the whole team's struggling and everyone's in a bit of a dark place right now. They need to be G'd up, or they need that win or a couple of wins to turn it back around. Because we've got HSV in a couple of games. Sorry, then we've got the Freiburg in the cup. So I mean, if we lose those two as well, then it's right. Okay, I'm writing my resignation letter, Luke, and you're gonna have to strike me. Start screening new candidates for the podcast.
So the first goal came in the 8th minute, and
Yep.
I was thinking at that stage right there, Regensburg are just going to sit back, and it's just going to be attritional here for the next 85 minutes. But then on the 40th minute, they get a second, and it's like, it's just again these like momentary blips in our defense because they looked solid for the rest of the match. I thought like the first goal penalty, not really the defense's fault, although Saliakos did give the ball away, which created their chance. It was a shit pass. But for the rest of it, they seem pretty sound at the back there. It's just these momentary lapses which always seem to cost us, and the stats really back that up.
With this goal as well, it was a hopeful lump in by Veit into the area, and there were enough defenders in there to deal with it. But the striker, like Alberg, I think his name was, I've forgotten his name already. Probably just blacked it out. Basically, just it's so traumatic. But yeah, Albers, sorry. So Albers managed to get between Medic and Vasil. Seemed like he was gonna come for the ball, and then decided not to. And then it's at that point, that indecision. You're then in no man's land. So if you start coming, you just have to go. Right? You have to put the attacker off somehow. But to stop midway and stand there in no man's land, it's a free header almost at the end of the day. So
you could point the finger at each of the two centre backs and the goalkeeper because Nemeth just gets caught ball watching. He's not marking anybody in the box. If you rewatch it, I know Medic will get most of the hate for this because he lets the striker in behind him. Albers just sort of peels off him, gets in behind. He can't reach it. Medic, and then he nods it home. But Nemeth was fucking nowhere to be found either. And then, as you said, Vasilj got caught in between coming for it or staying on his line. And by the time he comes for it, he's in between. He's too close. You can't save it from that distance.
Exactly. It's just frustrating instant after frustrating instant. But I thought we'd got those out of our system. But it seems like they're creeping back in.
But the weird thing is that it's not like our defense is bad. I know we're leaking goals like it's fucking like it's nobody's business, but our XG coming into a match against, so the amount of goals that we're expected to concede is quite low, like 4th lowest in the league. It's just these individual momentary lapses that cost us, whether it's like an individual one by Smarsh whenever he was still on the team, or 3 players in this case all fucking up. I don't know if it's an experience thing or what, but it's gotta find like, something to.
Everyone's good at football, like you wouldn't be in the team, right? To technically be able to control a ball, like we saw that a few times in the game, where it's just a very nicely controlled, and they can make passes, right? But it's a lot of football is about psychology and mindsets and stuff too. So if you're on the back of loss and things like that, or Hartfield just had a baby and things like that. All these kind of things that creep in and can have an impact on the pitch, but yeah, not to that extent because it's a huge contrast to what it was beginning of the season from the first couple of games with the same set of players. Just the closing down has disappeared. The attacking intent is just wallowed away. It's just happy to hold the ball in defensive midfield too long sometimes, like not shifting it quick enough. We were very good at that last year, holding the ball, playing it around the back, and then going down the other side. And Xander looks very good. Like he's come on a few times, and he really wants to fight for his place. I know Saliakas has been good, but Xander's come on a couple of times now and been right. Let's do this,
Yeah, but you were mentioning there about the mentality side of it, and I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and he was saying that he really fears for us if we do end up in a relegation battle, which it sort of looks like it's inevitable at this stage, because he doesn't believe that this team has the mentality to fight through it and to get there. Also, that there's a lack of experience.
As it stands, we're 2 points ahead of relegation zone. So, yeah, we are 8 points behind promotion places. But yeah, so we're in for a relegation battle as it stands, unless we can turn things around. Because as we said, 8 points is not much to make up, but 2 points is one game, right?
Yeah.
So.
I also think that we might be over egging like the performances at the start of the season. Like, so the first game we sort of like for opening day at the Milan Tour, 3 early goals, but we let Nuremberg back into that, and then away to Old Drod Hanover needed a last minute goal to rescue a point there. We squeaked past Stralin in the cup, and then a 2-1 defeat away to Köln, wasn't it?
Kaiserslautern.
And
Köln
after that, we had a 3-0 home win against Magdeburg, who were pretty fucking shite, and then after that was our last win. So really, has there ever been a time where we were playing well this season?
The first half of the Nuremberg game.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Literally it. So it's also the first half, the first 30 minutes of the season were fucking fantastic, and then just all downhill from there.
Not all downhill, but mostly downhill. There's been a couple of plateaus. But
it's just we're not trending in the right direction, is what I'm saying.
You sound like my boss when he pulls me for my reviews. Luke and Trev, it's you're not trending in the right direction. Oh god. Yeah, well, it's a 2-week break now. I mean, I don't know how many internationals we have. I know the Australian boys are away. Is that it? Afiz, is he on international duty? Although he got overlooked. That is interesting how he got overlooked for Vasily, because that was Afiz's position last year, right? He was the main man there.
Yeah, and in the other game we had without Eric Smith this season, I forget who it was against. Was it Stralin in the cup?
Maybe. No, he played. He assisted. He assisted. Didn't he?
Oh yeah, you're right. That was the game where he had a great game that time.
Yeah.
I forget who was it against. But we struggled in midfield without him that much as well.
Yeah.
And then I guess that's going to alter Jackson Irvine's role, because he's going to have to take on more of a defensive responsibility without Eric Smith. So then we're losing his attacking impetus, which we really need right now, because where else is the threat going to come from at the sharp end of the pitch?
But I mean,
not just in terms of putting away the goals, but chance creation. That killer pass that we're just completely lacking. Because teams have basically figured us out. As I said earlier, we had 70% possession of the ball, and we did next to nothing with it.
Mm-hmm.
So even the Regensburg manager, even after the match, said, "Oh no, yeah, we knew that they'll have the ball. We let them control the match because we know that they'll do fucking nothing with it."
Yeah.
So, but the blueprint on how to beat this team is out there. It's up to Schultz and the players to find some other way.
A new system. Or at least be able to mix it up a little bit, right? Or maybe that's what the Medic plan was. Maybe we're going to see Medic starting up front next time.
Please don't do that to me. Don't even joke.
We'll see. We've got 2 weeks to plant that seed in Schultz's mind.
Hopefully they're brainstorming on the training pitch right now, because it can't continue this way.
Well, that's what I meant. Is in there's not too many players away on international duty, so it's a good chance to work on a few things. But without Jackson Irvine and without Connor Metcalf, I think they're the only 2 away, I believe. So there's still plenty of first team players there to work on stuff, right?
Yeah, but then we'll be going into the next match without Paca, without Jackson. Two leaders, 2 captains. They were the only 2, I think, who can hold their head up high after that performance against Regensburg.
Is Pacarada actually out injured?
Yeah, he's out.
I didn't see.
They only told us the foreseeable, which is ominous. But it was a thigh muscle strain, so it doesn't sound too bad.
Ritzke came on. He played okay, but still, he's not Pacarada, right?
He's not. He doesn't offer what Paca offers going forward, particularly. Pretty solid defensively, but
what about 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs?
I think that could work with Saliakas and Paca, but not with Ritzke.
What about Xander?
Xander could do it, I'm sure.
So on the left side.
Because as we've talked about before, how much of our creativity and chance creation comes through our wing backs. Like, I think Paca's had the most shots out of everybody.
Yeah.
So maybe just getting them a bit further up the pitch is a good idea, actually. Because there's no pace up front. There's no one who can beat a player.
Yeah. A nice 5-3-2. I'm going to go simulate on Football Manager. Although the new one's not out yet. I'm waiting for that. So.
Are you going for Timo's job? Is that what this is?
Yeah. That's my plan all along. I don't know enough about football.
If he keeps getting results like that, he might be on the chopping block.
Well, we've both got gingery white hair, so it should be okay.
How dare you? It's not a touch of ginger in this hair of mine. Maybe a bit of...
No, not yours, Timo's.
Oh, okay. You're right.
So, I mean, we're off now, so we've got a couple of weeks of fixing shit, but we'll do the show next week and get ourselves ready for the Heidenheim game. But, I mean, for now, is there anything exciting or anything interesting that we can think about as a St. Pauli fan? Is there anything we can do?
It's more, I think it's more just trying to figure out...
Keep calm, carry on.
Or trying to identify what's wrong and possible ways that it can get changed and head in the right direction. Because everybody with a set of eyes knows that we're lacking up top.
I mean, us as fans.
Right.
Anything we can do? Should we send the boys some well wishes or some Instagram posts or something?
Well, after that match, I was ready to send some hateful DMs.
We're gonna have to start suspending you as Twitter admin or something on match days.
Might be a good idea. As fans, we just have to keep on showing up and cheering them on. I mean, there has been a few whistles and which is really unusual for the Milan Tour. It's uncharacteristic for the fans to get on the players' backs. I don't know what it is, but especially with the threat of getting dragged into a relegation battle, we've got to do whatever we can to avoid that. And even if you're displeased with how things are going, you just got to get behind the boys. I mean, it's all we can do, really.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's never good to... I mean, imagine you're doing your job and there's people that are just shouting abuse at you and stuff. It makes it a bit tricky to do your job effectively, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So think of that. Boo boys out there, think about that. How would you like if you're posting letters or something and people are just following you around booing you all the time? Are you going to get the right letters in the postbox? I don't know. It's not easy.
Just wait until the DHL man smashes up your package, and then you'll be
God,
fucking giving him some abuse.
I'm expecting new football boots soon, so I hope he doesn't target me. Yeah,
So, you mentioned there it's quarter of the way through the season, so
yeah.
we can actually, with some confidence, give a valuation of how it's gone so far. You have any
Mm,
thoughts?
oh, could do better. Sound like one of my school teachers. Uh,
So is that a C then? C
no,
plus,
I'd say a
C
D at
minus?
the moment, right? It's a D. Like it's I think we went into this with expect I did anyway, being not in the promotion places, but at least in sixth, seventh, eighth position or something. And playing nice football. Like that's one thing that like I only start to become a fan because because the Saint Pauli job and because of the the policy of the club and the culture around it. So, but the first of all is the job. Previously, I had other allegiances. Borussia Mönchengladbach because I lived there as a kid. That's the only reason. But then St. Pauli started working through the commentary and started to see they played nice, attractive, attacking football. So that's pretty cool. It's nice. And then the whole went to a couple of games and the fans were cheering like crazy at halftime. As I think it's the blind team and the under 13 girls team was going around. They're getting cheered like crazy. Like, man, this is awesome. So I don't think you get that too many places, but I was hoping some of that would be in action this year as well, in terms of the attractive playing fluid football. But as we said, the first 30 minutes of the Mildenburg game is the only time we've seen that so far.
Yeah, and what would you put that down to? Do you think it's personnel or tactics or something else?
No idea. Absolutely zero idea. I think the players are good. Like we've seen, they can all play. That's not a question. Schultz knows what he's doing as well. It's sometimes football's a bit more than just there's a ball, go kick it. There's something wrong there. I don't know.
I would have to put it down to the window that we had. I mean, we got rid of so many
Yeah.
of our best players, of starting 11 players, and the recruitment to replace them just simply hasn't been good enough. I think they were sort of signing players more in hope that they would come here and play better than they'd seen previously, because none of them that they've brought in have really ever proved that they can play consistently well at this level. Like as Dashner, Amaniero, or Dashner didn't come in, but or Amaniero, but has Eggestein
Yeah.
ever shown that he can do it at this level? Has Otto?
No.
Out of the signings, only really Saliakas, a fullback, and Nemeth, to be fair, as well, have come in and done shown anything really.
Do we
Other than the brace that Eggestein has got, there's nothing really to write home about.
do we know why it was such a challenge in the transfer window? Is it because it's an attractive club to come play for and stuff? It's an attractive city. It's an awesome stadium that's 99.7% sold out or something ridiculous, which is just incredible levels. So it's a very attractive as a player to come to. Is it they're not paying like not offering enough Muller to come and play and salary wise or
If I had to guess, yeah, maybe the club was struggling a bit financially after COVID, but I mean they recouped a lot of money from their outgoings. Got a few quid from the Kiri sale.
yeah.
I just wish they had have invested it, because we were at such a peak after that season. I know it finished disappointingly, but all the pieces were there to go again next season, and then they just let that squad fall away, and without any coherent plan of replacing them, like for like, we still don't have a decent number 10. Our so-called replacement target man in Matanovic
Yeah.
is
Well,
statuesque.
Makienok was allowed to leave, and he's gone to some second division Danish team or something now. So, but he would be like great, like compared to what we currently have. I think compared to
Yeah,
us. like what he did last season, because he still scored a few goals and he was always putting himself about and stuff. Yes, compared to Bergstall, he's not as good, but compared to what we currently have, he was a better option.
The fans loved him as well.
Yeah.
Especially what he did against those bastards. But but I think that one's a bit. The club do get a bit of stick about that. But I know that his girlfriend wanted to go back to Denmark. She was sick of Hamburg. She found it hard to settle in here. So I think that played a big part.
Well, it's just an hour drive, darling. It's just an hour drive. Come on, commute. It's a train that goes to Denmark. Easy. Fair enough then. Oh man, I mean, I feel bad just moaning and grumping and stuff, but I like to be a glass half full kind of guy.
So you think that
we need to finish on a positive. We can't end on shit performance, shit situation, shit transfer window, the world's shit, everything's shit.
Well, the good news is that there's an international break, so they're not going to ruin your weekend coming up, which is fantastic.
Man, you're a bundle of joy.
Ever the optimist.
Yeah, my God. All right, on that note, so I don't know, it's, yeah. Fuck, it's very difficult, right?
Yeah, why don't you come up with something happy and joyous and that we can sign off on? Because I'm fucking all out of ideas, mate.
Give me a week. We'll think of something positive for next week's show.
Yeah, that's it.
As we look forward to High Climb, okay, I guess this one is to reflect on, okay, we can split it like that, okay, so 50-50. So this one is all doom and gloom, and the next one is all refreshed optimism and excited about the Heidenheim game.
Yeah, I guess if you wanted to put a nice spin on it, we got two games to find some decent form, and then we go and smash Haasval at the Milan Tour, and then all is forgiven. We're on cloud nine. Dobby Siga, oi, oi, oi. And then fucking we start marching up the table.
Well, I mean, if you look at the positions of like Braunschweiger in the relegation zone, and Heidenheim are flying a little bit high, like maybe the like Icarus flying too close to the sun. They're on 16 points from 9 games. That's 4 draws in the last 5 games, though. So it's there for the taking. There's the optimistic outlook. Come on, Luke.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, that's the best we're getting from him. Okay then.
Yeah.
In that case, then, absolute pleasure as always. Yeah, thanks for listening. Hopefully, if it's interesting enough and you want to give any feedback, feel free. I've had a couple of reviews, so much appreciated. Luke sees them, sends them to me, and then we have a little celebratory dance. So that's always cool. So yeah, no, thank you very much, and yeah, see you next week. Although you're not playing football on Monday, are you? You're out injured, so.
Oh, yeah, I won't be playing for a while, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm in New York next week. I'm in New York next week, and I'm playing in New York. So if there's anyone in New York who wants to come play football, message us on Twitter. I think that's the safest way, right? I'm not giving up my mobile number yet. But yeah, messages on Twitter. And if you want to, I'm playing football, so if you want to come play with, that'd be cool. Monday evening.
Nice one. All right, Trev. Good to chat to you. Speak to you all next week.